नमस्कार दोस्तों। मेरा नाम अभिषेक चौहान और आपका स्वागत है इस पॉडकास्ट में। इस पॉडकास्ट में हम बात कर रहे हैं स्टारडम के बारे में और बॉलीवुड में कौन से ऐसे एक्टर्स हैं जो बहुत सेलेबल हैं, जिनके नाम पे ऑडियंस आती है। हम बात करेंगे अक्षय से, जतिंदर से और नवनीत से कि आपके जहन में ऐसे कौन से एक्टर्स हैं जो कि फिल्मों को ओपनिंग्स गारंटी कर सकते हैं। जो दूसरा पार्ट है डिस्कशन का, उसमें हम डिस्कस करेंगे कि फ्रेंचाइजेस, क्या फ्रेंचाइजेस भारी पड़ रहे हैं हमारे स्टार्स पे। क्या स्टार्स आज फ्रेंचाइजेस को में जाना या यूनिवर्सेस में जाना उनकी मजबूरी हो गई है, और क्या फ्रेंचाइजेस को ही ऑडियंस ज्यादा ट्रस्ट कर रहे हैं। और जो हमारा तीसरा भाग है वो गारंटी, वो सेंटर अराउंड करता है इस पे कि भाई शाहरुख खान, सलमान खान ये इतने बड़े क्यों हैं आज भी। ऐसा इन्होंने क्या सही किया कि आज भी लोग इनके घर के आगे पहुंच रहे हैं। वी टेक अ डीप डाइव इनटू द लेजेंड्स ऑफ शाहरुख खान, सलमान खान। वी डिस्कस अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट अमिताभ बच्चन ऑल्सो। तो ये जो पार्ट है ये बिल्कुल स्टारडम पे है और फ्रेंचाइजेस पे है। और जो टसल चल रही है बॉलीवुड में कि क्या बॉलीवुड अब धीरे 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 हॉलीवुड की तरह फ्रेंचाइज ड्रिवन इंडस्ट्री हो जाएगा और स्टारडम जो है वो बिल्कुल एक तरीके से बैक सीट ले लेगा। और क्या शाहरुख खान, सलमान खान, क्या उन्होंने सही किया है। तो ये हमारा कॉन्वर्सेशन इस पे सेंटर करता है। आई होप यू वॉच इट, आई होप यू एंजॉय इट। तो ये पूरा अंत तक जरूर देखिएगा। और अगर अभी तक भी आपने मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो भैया अभी प्लीज कर लीजिए सब्सक्राइब। इसी तरीके का इंगेजिंग कंटेंट आपके लिए आता रहेगा। और दूसरा है कि भाई वीडियो को लाइक जरूर कर दीजिएगा, बिकॉज देन द एल्गोरिथम पिक्स इट अप एंड इट काइंड ऑफ पुशेस इट टू मोर पीपल्स। मतलब दैट्स हाउ यूट्यूब वर्क्स, यू नो हाउ इट वर्क्स। और लास्टली बट नॉट द लीस्ट, अगर बहुत अच्छा लगा, बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा लगा, आई होप कि बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा लगा, तो अपने भाई दोस्तों में भी शेयर कर दीजिएगा। थैंक यू।
Akshay, who are the bona fide stars in Bollywood who can, as per you, who your audience in your cinemas, let's say just talk your cinemas, you have 17, 18 single screens across Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, etc. Who are the five guys who draw in audiences in your cinemas from the Hindi film industry? Don't take names from other industries. Let's take names from the principal industry. And if you want, I can also name my top five.
Of course.
I want to talk to Jatinder about the Punjabi ecosystem, and then we'll go to Navneet, and Navneet can tell us about his five that thing. So take it away, Akshay.
I mean, see, I can name five, but it'll be unfair to the other two. So I'll name seven. It's Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Amir Khan, Ajay Devgan, Akshay Kumar, Hrithik Roshan, Ranbir Kapoor. That's where it is. Now, I'll also give a disclaimer here because this year, right, 2024, and since we're talking about that, I'll do this with an example.
Okay.
Mr. Ajay Devgan had a couple of films this year, right? Where in Singham he's open to close to 40 crores on day one. In Shaitan he's open to close to 18 crores on day one. In Maidhan he's open close to about 4-5 crores on day one. And in Auro Mein Ka Dam Tha he's open to close to 1-1.5 crores on day one.
Correct.
So that really makes you wonder that even a true blue bona fide superstar is now beyond the point, as good, bad, or ugly as the merits of the film that he or she is in, right? So Auro Mein Ka Dam Tha and Singham coming very close to each other with such contrasting opening day numbers doesn't mean that stardom suddenly गायब हो गया था और फिर suddenly लौट आया, right? It just means that eventually your superstars are the propellers, but the spaceship is still the script, the story. And ultimately, as traditionally it's always been said, filmmaking is a director's medium, a storyteller's medium. And the sooner we take cognizance of that and make sure that we, stop being complacent as storytellers, as an industry, because there's a superstar in it, the sooner we'll, sail towards safer waters. And I really hope that as an industry, we can stop being complacent, start taking our audience for granted, which we've done for a bit too long, and recalibrate ourselves in terms of our systems, our costs, in terms of the ticket prices, which genuinely are an issue in terms of making the movie going experience more accessible, not just financially, but also intellectually and in terms of convenience. Uh, I really think that all of us need to work as a value chain, as partners, rather than as vendors to each other as an industry. And if we can do that, we will actually create more superstars because we'll give the audience a better chance to come back to the movies.
Acha, Akshay, sticking to you, do you think that we will be able to create more superstars in the coming times, or that age and time has gone?
Vishek, I mean, look at what's happening down south, right? I mean, it is the same people. It's not like intrinsically they are some different species, right? The audiences in Tamil Nadu, the audiences in Andhra, Telangana. Back in the 80s, they had Nagarjun Garu, a Chiranjeevi Garu, and all of them being superstars. We had Mr. Bachchan, we had Mr. Rajesh Khanna. And the audiences here and there hero worshipped. They celebrated cinema. They had a blast in the movies. After that, what happened is the southern fraternities with Rajni sir, Kamal sir, and Vijay, Ajit, all of them stuck to catering to the core of our population. And we unfortunately got influenced by the West. We became a bit too urban, a bit too elitist. We became multiplexy, as they say, as storytellers. And that was our undoing. So I don't think there's any difference in the audience. We've seen the audiences in North India react exactly the same way as the audiences down south do with a Pushpa, right? So the audience hasn't changed. We went wrong as an industry. And the day we course correct, we will see superstars all over again. I have no doubts about that.
Then I'm going to push you a little bit more. And you took an example of Ajay Devgan. You said that he had varying degrees of openings, and the biggest opening came in the franchise.
Yeah.
The question is that do audiences trust franchises more than the stars in today's times in your cinemas? I mean, the franchises have got you the best openings this year. So your best opening that I can probably predict is Pushpa. Then your number two opening for the year would be Stree. And then number three opening, I don't know, it'll be
Bhool
like
Bhulaiya, Singham, both of them.
correct. So all franchises and stars, even Akshay Kumar is not able to open films just on his name. That stars are just not able to guarantee that kind of an opening anymore. If you look at even pre-COVID, just the name was not bringing in the audience, and the audiences needed more meat, more assurance. So do you think that audiences का प्यार अब ज्यादा franchise के तरफ चला गया है? The audiences love franchises more. They trust franchises more for a good time at the cinema than the actors behind the characters who are in the franchise.
I don't think it's just a question of trust. That comes later. I think it's a question of, it being a bit of a safe bet, of there being familiarity, of the audience kind of being able to guess what they're walking in for. And today, at a time when movie going has become a big ask in terms of the money you spend, the effort you put in, the time you dedicate to it, somewhere the audience wants to be assured कि हाँ यार 2 घंटे मजा आएगा 3 घंटे मजा आएगा, and that's why they kind of fall back on franchises to be familiar territory. You know what you're expecting when you walk into a Bhool Bhulaiya 3. You know what you're expecting when you walk into a Pushpa, when you walk into a Singham, right? But having said that, I think it's very, very critical that again हम वो गलती न करें जो भेड़चाल वाली होती है, and then we super saturate and exhaust these franchises by just relying on them and by becoming complacent again कि हाँ ये चली थी तो बना लो for the heck of it part 2 part 3 and वो भी हम kill कर देंगे. So we need, while we do need to continue building these universes and franchises and taking, making them grow from strength to strength, we also need to make sure that we focus on what really matters, which is great storytelling and great writing, right? I hate giving this example because it's actually one of my favorite franchises. But in the recent times, we've seen a Tiger 3 being underwhelming in what has been one of the most successful universes or franchises in the Hindi ecosystem. So there will, for every Stree 2, there will be a Tiger 3, which I'm not saying it tanked or whatever, but it was underwhelming compared to what all of us expected. So we need to make sure that we don't get complacent about franchises and sequels and universes. And we also create a lot of content which delivers on its own merit rather than just relying on itself being a sequel or a part of a universe.
Jatinder, on to you. Stars, top five draws as per your tracking, maths, and I take us a little bit through Punjabi industry also, because you track that industry pretty closely too. You're there in the thick of things. And then I want you to close by telling us, all of us, that Hollywood, the international, what is the top five films, are they only franchises? Do original films make the cut anymore or not? So, take the whole gamut and just have a shot at explaining it to us here.
Sir, back in 20 mid 2010s, I used to say that a superstar is one who opens a film to 20 crore plus, no matter what genre, no matter what release date, no matter what kind of trailer it had, no matter what kind of music it had. So back then, there were only three guys which were doing that. It was three clans basically. But right now, I think we can even filter it down to 10 crore, and the answer will still be those two or three guys who are still doing it 10 crore plus. Everyone else is not able to give 10 crore plus if the film is not there. So when it comes to box office, see, stardom isn't simply just box office because only maybe 5% of Indian public goes to cinema or can even afford to go to cinema. So Akshay Kumar, who has a big mass following, might not be that big a box office star as Amir Khan, despite having a bigger following in the masses. So box office stardom and the following is completely different thing, I think. As for franchises, I mean, it's not a recent trend. Dhoom 3 back in 2013 was bigger than any Khan film there was in terms of initial or hype. So Singham was bigger than Happy New Year initial, I think. If we simply go by in parts of India, it was bigger than Happy New Year. So it's not a recent trend. It's been going for a long time, and it's not going to go away. There will be like films like which Akshay mentioned, Tiger 3, or even a Daban 2, which fell from Daban 1. So it's not like a franchise is going to just grow. They will fall if the content is not there. If not the current one, the next one will suffer. So I think it's not nothing new, but right now as Bollywood has, they just simply भेड़ चाल में चले जाते हैं. तो रिसेंटली अभी फ्रेंचाइजी का मतलब हुआ बन जाएगा. They simply don't try to like do the actual thing which is to make good films, but फॉर्मूला ढूंढते हैं. जब बाहुबली 2 आई तो सोचा थे अभी पीरियड फिल्में चलेंगी तो बाजीराव मस्तानी चल रही है, फिर पानीपत बन रही है. तो बस फॉर्मूला के पीछे चल जाते हैं. एक फिल्म चल जाती है तो बस वही बनाइए, वही चलो. तो उससे शायद थोड़ा बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा. अदरवाइज कुछ ज्यादा बदला नहीं है. एज फॉर पंजाबी, आई थिंक एक्सेप्ट फ्रॉम दिलजीत, देर इज नो वन हु यू कैन क्लेम इज अ स्टार. वहां पे भी सभी बस फ्रेंचाइजी से ओपनिंग ले रहे हैं, या फिर अगर ट्रेलर अच्छा आ जाए, कॉमेडी अच्छी लग रही है ट्रेलर में, तो ओपनिंग आ जाएगी. अदरवाइज आई डोंट थिंक देर इज अ स्टार इन Punjabi industry who can give opening on his name. Diljit, Diljit has also gone a bit down, but recently, due to his international hype of concerts, there is some increase in appeal. The one guy who had a mass following was Sidhu Moosewala, but his films didn't work. But he had a bigger following than Diljit in the masses. As for Hollywood, I think in Hollywood, director is a bigger star than and then the actors. India is the only place where we treat our actors as stars. Everywhere else, I think it's the musicians which are treated as stars. So वहाँ पे Taylor Swift is a bigger star than Tom Cruise or The Rock even. Taylor Swift हो गई या और सिंगर्स हैं, वो बड़े स्टार्स हैं एज कम्पेयर टू द एक्टर्स. वहाँ पे डायरेक्टर की ज्यादा पुल है. Oppenheimer from Nolan can do much bigger business than anything The Rock or Leo DiCaprio or Tom Cruise can pull outside of their franchises. तो
But
वहां पे फ्रेंचाइजी या डायरेक्टर.
Jatinder, how many Nolans do you have?
वी हैव ओनली टू, जेम्स कैमरून एंड नोलन.
Correct.
तो बॉलीवुड में भी दो ही हैं, बस दो या तीन ही हैं.
To you is कि भाई जो टॉप 5 पिक्चरें होती है साल की, वो फ्रेंचाइज होती है या ओरिजिनल्स होती है?
फ्रेंचाइजी सर. ओरिजिनल तो आई थिंक लास्ट फिल्म जो ओरिजिनल टॉप आई होगी वो ओपनहाइमर हो गई, जो किसी पे बेसिस नहीं है. मतलब चलो बायोपिक तो होगी लेकिन फिर भी ओरिजिनल मान सकते हैं. या फिर लास्ट की इंसेप्शन 2010 में, अवतार थी 2009 में. उसके अलावा ओरिजिनल मतलब या तो वो किसी बुक के ऊपर बेस्ड होगी, जिसकी बुक की फैन बेस होगा, या फिर कोई फ्रेंचाइजी होगी, या रीबूट होगा. आई डोंट थिंक कोई ओरिजिनल फिल्म रिसेंटली टॉप 5 में आई है।
तो सवाल ये है दूसरा कि अब हॉलीवुड में भी 5 पिक्चरें टॉप जो होती हैं वो आपको फ्रेंचाइजेज होती हैं, एंड आई अज्यूम दिस वुड बी द ट्रेंड अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड. This would be the trend across the world, not only Hollywood. Now, even the indie Hindi film industry is mimicking the same, is reflecting the same, that we have now a Stree, a Bhool Bhulaiya, a Singham, a Pushpa, all franchises that have scored good numbers. The other film which has done well, Munjia, is part of the larger horror universe of the horror multiverse, as what Amar Kaushik and Mr. Dinesh Vijan are creating. So सवाल अब ये जाता है कि जो अगर इस तरीके का सक्सेस एज अ प्रोड्यूसर मैं देख रहा हूं कि भाई हॉलीवुड में भी फ्रेंचाइज चल रहा है, इंडिया में भी फ्रेंचाइजेस चल रहे हैं, लोग स्टार की जगह फ्रेंचाइज देख रहे हैं, अजय देवगन 40 करोड़ पे खोल रहे हैं सिंघम, अजय देवगन 1.5 करोड़ पे खोल रहे हैं औरों. तो भाई मैं अगर कोई पिक्चर प्लान करूंगा किसी के साथ में, किसी एक्टर के साथ, तो एज अ प्रोड्यूसर आई वुड फील मोर कंफर्टेबल if I had a part 2 or 2 or a 3 added to the title, and it would give me that comfort. So आने वाले समय में क्या आपको लग रहा है कि जो बॉक्स ऑफिस को ड्राइव करेगा इंडिया में, और सीक्वल्स के भतेड़े बहुत सारे बनने जा रहे हैं, तो हाउ डू यू लुक एट a complete transformation from original films? Like even earlier, our stars used to do original films, like a Shah Rukh or a Salman Khan or an Amir Khan would do original films. They would not do franchises because they didn't need to. Now even probably they are contemplating कि भाई पार्ट 2 कर लें, पार्ट 3 कर लें, या कोई मल्टीवर्स में चले जाएं. So do you see this being the continuous trend, or do you think that Hindi film industry will be able to create stars? Or even down south, I think stars are not being created. I had a conversation with Ruben, who runs GK Cinemas, and I asked him very candidly कि boss, what's the future? What's after the trio that you have right now? Like Talapati Vijay can guarantee you a fantastic initial. Now he's gone into politics, he's doing his last film. Ajit is moving into motor racing and he's not going to be around for much. His focus is going to be car racing. And then there is Rajnikant. Now Rajnikant how long will he go on for? He's in his 70s. The question that begs is that after these three guys, who's the next there? Similarly, the same story can be talked about the Telugu industry or any other industry. Star creation इंडिया में बंद हो जाएगा, फ्रेंचाइजेस चलेंगे, स्टारडम खत्म, स्टार क्रिएशन खत्म, सारा प्रोड्यूसर फोकस करेंगे. Who wants to take this? Anyone can, either of you can take this.
I'll go first, Vishek bhai. So, first of all, I've moved to Bangalore only 3.5 years ago. Before that, I was living in Delhi. My hometown is Jaipur. I've lived in Mumbai as well. So, जो top 5 stars जो आप पूछ रहे थे, let me just take that first up. So, I will give the pan India thing. According to me, pan India, number 1, number 2 are Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan by far. And according to me, only Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan can guarantee you a big opening, irrespective of the sequel or franchise or the genre of the movie, holiday, non-holiday. जैसे किसी का भाई किसी की जान नॉन हॉलीडे थी, बहुत ही बुरी फिल्म थी, टेरिबल मूवी, मतलब प्रोडक्शन वैल्यूज भी कुछ खास नहीं थी, डायरेक्टर, आई मीन आई डोंट वांट टू गो इनटू दैट, बट स्टिल मैंने डिसेंट ओपनिंग. तो सलमान एंड शाहरुख को
नवनीत, मैं आपको रोकूंगा यहाँ पे. मेरे को आप ये बताओ कि शाहरुख और सलमान, व्हाट राइट they did that others could not, that even after being in the industry for such a long time, उन्होंने ऐसा क्या सही किया है कि उनको आज भी ओपनिंग के गारंटीज हैं, और बाकी एक्टर्स जो थे उनके कंटेम्पररीज भी जो थे वो अपने आप पे वो फिल्में नहीं ला पा रहे.
जैसे अक्षय ने जो पॉइंट बोला ना, वो बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट था. जैसे अजय देवगन की जो है सिंघम 40 करोड़ में भी खुलती है, औरों में कहाँ दम था 1 करोड़ पे भी खुलती है, और शैतान 18 पे खुलती है, और जो वो मतलब, तो even Akshay Kumar, without sequels, he has not been able to give even a decent opening. Forget about a big grosser. So even Akshay Kumar and Ajay Devgan are largely dependent on sequels now, or a very well packaged big action movie. But even BMCM की opening भी बहुत ही बुरी थी, though it was a Eid release थी और इतनी बड़ी action film थी. So even Akshay Kumar and Ajay Devgan cannot guarantee opening. Salman and Shahrukh, I just want to give a bit of context. शाहरुख खान ने लास्ट डेकेड में बहुत ऑफ किल्टर मूवीज की थी. दे वर नॉट मेन स्ट्रीम कमर्शियल फिल्म्स, मेनी ऑफ देम. फैन हो गई, जब हैरी मेट सेजल हो गई, जीरो हो गई, बट दे स्टिल मैनेज रीजनेबल ओपनिंग्स. और इस डेकेड में सलमान खान के साथ हो रहा है. सलमान खान किसी का भाई किसी की जान करता है. टाइगर थी, चलो फिर भी फ्रेंचाइज पिक्चर थी. दबंग 3 थी, रेस 3 थी. अच्छा, ट्यूबलाइट जैसी पिक्चर, एब्सोल्युटली ऑफ बीट पिक्चर, वो 21 करोड़ का बिजनेस करती है ऑन डे वन. सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज इवन अजय देवगन एंड or Akshay Kumar, they need the crutch of sequels and franchise now. Salman and Shahrukh are the only two stars. So number one Salman, number two Shahrukh, and what makes them unique? I think once you told me a very good thing, and I keep going back to our conversation because many of the questions which you ask, lies in our past conversation. You told me once that great acting is about surprises, stardom is about repetition. सलमान एंड शाहरुख, सलमान खान ने जो लास्ट डेकेड में किया था, ऑफ कोर्स इट डिड बजरंगी भाईजान आल्सो, बट बजरंगी भाईजान वाज एन एक्सेप्शन, नॉट द रूल. लुक एट द काइंड ऑफ मूवीज सलमान खान डिड. दबंग, रेड्डी, बॉडीगार्ड, एक था टाइगर, दबंग 2, किक, प्रेम रतन धन पायो, सुल्तान, टाइगर जिंदा है. बजरंगी भाईजान वाज एन एक्सेप्शन. नाउ तो सलमान खान की जो सारी की सारी मूवीज थी, आई मीन उनका कंटेंट थोड़ा सा एक डिफरेंट हो सकता है, कंटेंट वाज लिटिल डिफरेंट, उसके कैरेक्टर्स थोड़े डिफरेंट हो सकते हैं, बट जो उसकी ग्रामर है, जो उसका सिंटेक्स है, जो ग्रामर है, वो बहुत ही मेन स्ट्रीम था. और जो उसकी उन और सलमान खान की मूवीज के जो ग्रामर होता है वो बहुत यूनिवर्सल होता है. एंड सेम विद शाहरुख खान एज वेल. मतलब शाहरुख खान ने ऑफ किल्टर पिक्चरें की थी जैसे मैंने कहा, और उनको भी ओपनिंग लगी बिकॉज ऑफ हिज एक्विटी एज अ सुपरस्टार. उन्होंने जो एक्विटी बनाई थी बिटवीन 1992 टिल 2014, जो उनकी एक्विटी थी, आई मीन दैट रियली स्पिल्ड ओवर इन हिज बैड पीरियड एज वेल. अब वो इतने क्यों हैं बड़े सुपरस्टार? एक तो बिकॉज दे हैव जेन्युइनली रिपीटेड देमसेल्फ. रिपीटेड इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि रेपिटेटिव. फॉर एन एग्जांपल, व्हाट टाइगर श्रॉफ इज डूइंग इज रेपिटेशन. What they were doing is that they picked the genre, that they picked an image, but the presentation, the packaging, the characters, the music, and music played a very, very important role. Let me just, in 90s, take most of the super hit songs. मतलब अक्षय कुमार के भी हैं, थोड़ा बहुत अजय देवगन की है, बट सलमान एंड शाहरुख की इवन फ्लॉप मूवीज का म्यूजिक जो है वो हमेशा आउटस्टैंडिंग रहा है. जानम समझा करो देख लो, आप दिल से देख लो, आप डुप्लीकेट देख लो, आप हेलो ब्रदर देख लो. मैं फ्लॉप मूवीज का म्यूजिक बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ पे. उनकी जो सुपरहिट फिल्म है वो तो ब्लॉकबस्टर म्यूजिक है. टाइगर श्रॉफ के कितने गाने, आप 5 गाने भी सुपरहिट बता सकते हो मुझे? टाइगर श्रॉफ जो कर रहा है वो रेपिटेशन है. व्हाट दे डिड वाज दैट दे टुक अ सर्टेन इमेज एंड दे कैरिड इट फॉरवर्ड. सलमान खान ने बाद में 2009 में अपने आप को कंप्लीटली री इन्वेंट किया, और उसने 7-8 साल उसी, मतलब एक उसी सिंटेक्स की मूवीज की. शाहरुख ने भी किया. एंड एज आई सेड, थर्ड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज म्यूजिक. Music of Salman and Shahrukh connected in such a big way. You cannot imagine how big a part music has played. Music जो होता है आपकी रिपीट वैल्यू बहुत 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 बढ़ाता है. पिक्चर की भी बढ़ाता है, और स्टार की रिपीट वैल्यू तो, स्टार का जो स्टारडम है उसको तो मल्टीप्लाई करता ही है. फोर्थ पॉइंट is that people like Salman and Shah Rukh beyond their movies, not just because of movies. I can talk about India. इंडिया में अगर आपको सुपरस्टार बनना है और सुपरस्टार आपको सस्टेन करना है, and again, I will quote you, someone should have an aspirational value. Salman and Shah Rukh have aspirational value. Their connect with the audience is not just intellectual connect. Amir Khan is also a superstar, but Amir Khan का जो connect है अपनी audience के साथ वो largely intellectual है. People go into the theater to watch a movie, to watch great content, to watch stellar content, not just Amir Khan.
Yes.
People respect Amir Khan. People respect Amir Khan for his craft, for his dedication, for his unwavering, unflinching focus. But do they absolutely go gaga over him beyond his movies? No. Salman and Shah Rukh, people love them beyond their movies because both have different aspirational qualities. Who would not like to be as articulate and as witty as Shah Rukh Khan? Who would not like?
So that's why, Navneet, and I keep saying this to people, that आज भी 3 स्टार के घर के बाहर में भीड़ लगती है बॉम्बे में.
बिल्कुल. सलमान, शाहरुख, अमिताभ बच्चन.
अमिताभ बच्चन, सलमान खान और शाहरुख खान, इन तीन के दर्शन करने इनके फैंस आज भी जाते हैं। यहाँ पे
बिल्कुल
जाके मत्था टेकने जाते हैं, देखने जाते हैं, उनके बर्थडे पे पहुंचते हैं, एंड
बिल्कुल
जस्ट टू गेट अ ग्लिम्स। एंड यू राइटली पॉइंटेड आउट that it is these three people, that super stardom aura जो होता है वो एक पर्सनालिटी कल्ट भी होता है।
बिल्कुल
You have to have that personality so that it is so magnetic that it attracts a larger audience to you, and they want to be like you. Shahrukh's charm, and Amit ji has everything. And that is
absolutely
why you see all these दर्शनार्थी उनके घर के आगे मत्था
बिल्कुल
टेकने उनके बर्थडे पे या whenever they come out वहां पे जाते हैं। And now I want to go to Jatinder because Jatinder would like to contribute. Jatinder, Shah Rukh Khan ke बारे में, why do you think in terms of box office? Now, before COVID, everybody wrote him off. I remember our conversation about Zero, where I told you very openly that I am not very hopeful of the film and I don't think it will work. And then it did not do the numbers that it was expected to do. Now, he went into a complete zone where people just wrote off Shah Rukh Khan. He said, okay, khatam, finished, dead, gone, bye bye. 2023, the resurgence of SRK. The resurgence was, I don't think I have seen a comeback in theatrical history. I mean, there was a time as a kid, I remember John Travolta making a comeback with Pulp Fiction, with
yes yes
Off, with the Broken Arrow. तीन पिक्चरें आई थी लाइन से कि भाई, and he was like, oh my God, where has this man been? But Pathan and Jawan were another level. That transformation, I think he held himself back to be an action hero for such a long time. And I think with Pathan and Jawan, he gave it all.